Hello, my name is Olafur Eliasson, an installation artist from Denmark. My birth was in Copenhagen, Denmark in 1967. For my early life, I was surrounded by art, as my father was an artist as well. Though I was an accomplished artist at the age of 15, I found that was not my passion in such things. The traditional world of painting seemed to not capture my purposes in art, and as such, I found my true passion at the time in breakdancing and expressing myself through my body. Yet around 1989, I enrolled in the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts in the town of my birth, Copenhagen. In such, I began to work in more three-dimensional means and focus on sculpture and installation art. The message behind my work is both simple and complex, in that I explore the nature of connection between people, and the many different perspectives between people in that as well. In my art, I attempt to challenge the viewer to interpret the piece on their own and to come to their own conclusions about what they're viewing, yet also be able to share the experience with others. I work with a team of engineers, architects, and other artists to bring my work to life. In my work, I commonly use all five senses, using things like temperature, color, and sounds to invoke feelings in others and allow others to explore the nature of connections with others and with nature. If I were to summarize my work in one word, it would be contemplation. A piece that seems to capture this well is my 2003 work, The Weather Project. This piece is not just the sun-shaped glowing ball in the room, made from 200 monofrequency bulbs, but the entire room itself. In this work, I attempt to bring contemplation to the world around those who experience the art, not just visually, but with the other senses as well. As you enter the piece, you're embellished with a sea of orange light, and as you move in, you will notice a reflection of the entire room at the top. When you enter the room, you're not just looking at a piece, but have become an element in it as well. As you go through the room, your skin will be touched with the feeling of fog, and for a moment in your mind, you are transported outside. Yet in your mind, you know deep down that you are inside, not outside. Through all of this, you're brought into a sense of rejuvenated reconnection with nature, and are now, through this, seeing the world in a new sense. Though things like the sun often become mundane, through my piece, you are brought to rediscover the beauty of life and nature. Another piece in which I combine three different spheres layered upon one another. The piece is called Compassion Sphere, and notably the piece contains different perspectives depending on the location of the participant is at the time of viewing the piece. The piece is made of stainless steel, pane, green quartz, colored glass, and a light and a cable. Through this, I'm attempting through the piece's reflective surface to create a sense of reflection in the viewer, to open the idea of differing perspectives and explore in them a sense of wonder. With a variety of colors and angles and lights in the center, you could explore all this piece has to offer and see not just yourself, but the bright future of collaboration that can be present through the coming together of all of humanity and nature. The third piece I wish to explore is my 2024 piece, Fenster für bewegtes Licht, or Window for Moving Light. It's located in the St. Nicholas Cathedral in Greifswald, Germany. This piece utilizes an array of many hand-blown glasses and colored in many different colors, such as yellow, orange, green, and many more, arranged in a symmetrical fashion with a repetition in form, yet a transition of color from top to bottom. A shifting of colors seems to bring a sense of a sunrise and a change inside the cathedral, and through the heliostat, a device which redirects sunlight to the window from other buildings, the viewer can experience the transition for longer periods of the day, even in the winter days when the sunlight is not as much. In such, the piece calls for a reflection and pause, as the divine array of lights bathe the viewer in color and focus on the altar in front of the cathedral. Another one of my pieces, which seems very simple, yet connects to the very core of the human experience, is Open. Made in 2024 and displayed in Los Angeles, California, made from the reflection of light from LED lights passing through a simple glass prism. I created a simple rainbow in a dark room. Yet, when you look at the color and experience it, a question seems to pop into your head. Does everyone see this color as I do? Are my reds the same as someone else's blues? Though color exists in the form of radiation at certain frequencies, I attempt to nudge at the fact that color in its experienced form does not exist but inside the head. As such, it is the work of the viewer to experience it, and share a potentially radically different experience with those around them. In such, you're not being told to see something in this way or that way, but to contemplate on different perspectives, and your experience with the world around you. My 2022 piece, Your View Matters, also seems to create a sense of shifting perspective in the viewer. In this way, I attempt to prompt the viewer to move more as the colors and planes shift around them in virtual reality or VR space. I utilize platonic solids to create a sort of divine substance to the visual experience. In this way, I'm attempting to persuade the viewer to explore the space. But more than that, explore the process of experience in an individualistic perspective. To not just value the curation of an installation, but your perspective and impacts on it, and on the world around you through the employment of will, through the causality of perspectives on those actions. In my 2021 piece, Det lyttende spejl, or Listening Mirror, I used three simple objects: a mirror, aluminum, and steel. In this piece, two semicircles go into a mirror. In the piece located in Hindring, Denmark, once again, the piece's qualities change as the perspective point of the viewer changes in relationship to the piece. As you walk under it, it seems as though there are now two full circles passing through the mirror, and subsequently, you can also see a reflection of yourself as you gaze into this imaginary space above. The pipes seem to form a globe of sorts, and as you walk under the piece to enter the hospital which it is situated in front of. In such, a little story of you and your impact is formed in the moment. One where for but a moment, your movement and actions are heard and change the world around you, where you're able to reflect and contemplate on how you view the world and life around you. My 2020 piece, Atmospheric Wave Wall. I use a combination of powder-coated steel, stainless steel, and aluminum in an architectural work. In this piece, I attempt to capture a sense of movement and dynamic patterns with my employment of a pattern created utilizing Penrose tiling for Sir Roger Penrose. It's a five-fold symmetry that creates a radial pattern in the piece, which gives it a sense of visual movement in a rotational sense. This also gives the piece a sense of chaotic cohesion, which adds to its interest as you explore it. In this piece, I also used light to further expand the piece's variety, and that when in different lightings or weather, the piece once more changes. Also, it's located in Chicago. The variety of lighting from weather is further enhanced, as throughout the year, the sky goes from deep processions of overcast to intense periods of sun. Through this, as you walk or ride or drive past the piece, a sense of philosophic disorientation may come over you, in which each movement the piece responds and reacts as your relationship of your actions has on the many others which are around you. In my piece, Gesellschaftsspiegel, or Mirror of Society, is a masterful work displayed in Hamburg, Germany. The piece was made from steel, brass, and a glass mirror, featuring two of the same items. This work features a repetition from the outside of the piece, mirroring the monotonous yet busy nature of common life. Yet when you go to stand underneath it, a refracted kaleidoscope image of the city is presented before you. In such, the viewer is presented with the city, which has become so day to day and monotonous to many. Yet with its distortion, it causes a sense of wonder and contemplation in the viewer, where you not only experience the world as it is commonly understood to be, but as it means to you and to others. The splitting of the images also creates a sense of infinite possibilities, in which one may come to understand that there's always more to be discovered, and those around often hold the keys to such. My piece, Future Memory Star, made in 2020. I created a dodecahedron, or a 12-sided geometric shape, to form a star. This star is formed of smoked oak, brass, yellow filtered glass, wire, and some lights. This piece shows a radiation of light upon the surrounding scenery, with splashes of yellows and blues which seem to form an analogous color scheme. In it, patterns of light flood the room around and immerse you in colors and shapes that come in a sense with order, yet an unpredictability that seems to reflect life itself. Though the world holds a sense of order and predictability, it is the unpredictable nature that overflows from day-to-day structure, which gives life its meaning, and connections with others also do the same. My 2020 piece, Kaleidosphere, I put together 30 kaleidoscopes into one piece, surrounding each other to create a sort of spherical shape. This art piece, however, is not just meant to be looked at from a distance, but yet interacted with, moved, and observed at many different angles. The piece, through its use of mirrors, also incorporates the surroundings and viewers into the piece as well. In this, the viewer and the world around them create a unique and individual experience that captures the nature of Heraclitus's quote, where it stated, "You cannot step into the same river twice." In such, the viewer will have changed in the viewing, or the surroundings may have changed. Yet also, in the distortion of self and surroundings, one can truly begin to contemplate the variety and uniqueness of every day and every person. That though there are many repetitions of mirrors, which seems to create a sense of monotony, yet when closely examined, a sense of freshness and beauty can be found in the variety within. Thank you very much.